All right, good morning, everybody. Had a little snafu this morning. I actually came here half an hour ago to do a video, recorded the video, went to go replay it, and boom, no sound. So yeah, I guess I got to add testing my sound to the beginning, like an amateur that didn't do that. Never had an issue before with that. So we're gonna do a video this morning. It's Monday morning. Right after 9 o'clock. Basically, today is going to be a day off for us. We have some stuff to do around the house. We also got to do some talking, brainstorming about the state of the store. I'm going to give you some numbers here. Our weekend was a total bombshell. We basically threw the number that we would normally do on one day. We actually did it on Friday and Saturday. So a little bit over $5,000 for 2 days, guys. The good thing is we did get a lot of items leaving the building. But the bad thing is it was mostly cheap items. No heavy hitters really sold besides a pool. These cantilever umbrellas are still here. So the pool sold. There was like an inflatable, but I think that was like the biggest ticket item. So the most expensive item that we sold was like $270. So that's like horrible. We still have heavy hitters sitting around. So that tells me that those heavy hitters are not priced right. So this is something that you don't want to run into where you have a lot of good items on the sales floor and nothing's selling because your prices are too high. Well, obviously my prices are good, but they're not good enough. So what does that mean? Well, everything's priced a little bit over 50% right now. And remember what I was talking before, when I lower my stuff to 50% or like 45%, that's when it starts selling. So our customers are holding tight on their willingness to give me more margin. And when I put the things at the price that I put them at, there's a reason for that. So the reason why some of those items out in the sales floor are higher is because they were attached to a load that I lost on a high ticket item. And we talked about that TV, the other TV, and all those TVs back there. Well, if you figure two items and two shipments of inventory equaling $1,400, you have to take that in account. You cannot let that $1,400 not get adjusted somewhere else. So that's why these other items are at the price that they're at, is because I lost on two TVs and I'm trying to make that up. But our customers, they don't care about that. They walk in the store and they expect to see, they've seen me sell things under 50% before. So now they're expecting to see that. And I don't know, I can't break that cycle. So what we need to do now is we need to come up with a better plan. The better plan is to be putting ourselves in a position where we're going to have people asking questions. And I've been kind of thinking about this, after we closed yesterday at 5 o'clock, what's going to do it? Well, maybe what we should do is help us liquidate our store sale. So we want to start fresh. We want to get rid of all this inventory. So why don't we just do the whole store as a complete liquidation? And hopefully our customers aren't going to think that we're closing. Maybe we can just do something like a store reset sale. Like seriously, like guys, talk to your customers, get some feedback. But I'm telling you right now, if I throw something out there like that, it's going to create some buzz. And maybe it might be too much buzz. Maybe it might be too much buzz too early. But I'm starting to think, not desperation, but like, here's the thing too. Remember, if I can't sell this stuff at the end, it's going to get liquidated anyway to another reseller. And don't tell me that I'm going to be able to get more than 20 or 25% of retail for this stuff, because somebody's not going to have any room if they're buying stuff at that rate from me. So might as well just give it to my customers and go out with a bang, right? So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. Like this chaise is still here. We sold one of the display TVs to an employee. He saw huge value in an 85-inch Samsung for $450 that was sitting right there. And I was joking around with him and I said, hey, you really shouldn't be one-upping your boss because, now you got a bigger TV than me. And he was laughing. He thought that was pretty funny. And, I was making light of it because, he's a good guy and we're starting to, you know, um, starting to understand each other a little bit more. So I said that, and and I was like, what's next? You're gonna start parking in your boss's spot? And then he just kind of looked at me and just kind of just, no, boss, you're good. And so yeah, kind of like you got to keep that going. But yeah, so that was pretty cool that he got a good deal. And he even told me, he's like, man, your prices, boss, your prices are really, really good. I don't get it, because he's only been here like a week and a half, and he's seen the low traffic amount. And he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I honestly, I don't know. I mean, the thing is we gotta kind of figure this out. And I think what's going to happen is these Christmas trees, we're going to have to do like a spot check on maybe 20 of them, to all different sizes, and then figure out what our cost is, and then just average it out and just throw a stupid number on it, and just know that whatever price I put on it, as long as it's over 25% of retail, I'm going to get more for it if I got to liquidate. So that's kind of like the mindset that I'm being pushed into, guys. I'm being pushed into the point where it's not desperation, but it's just logical thinking on what's the best way to liquidate. And if I can just get a whole chunk of cash at once, I can do really good things with it. So that's what we're going to try to do. So as you can see, we're missing some pallets here. My guy was able to get through a lot of this, but now we got some more to process. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he got through 2.5 or 3.5 of those 6-foot watermelons. What we did was we changed the sale to $1 all across the board, except for the brown stickers are 50 cents, and then I moved that to 3 for $1. So what we're going to do is we're going to let it all ride, guys. All these items, now it's going to be a numbers game. I tried to get top dollar for my bargain bin items, and the first day of the sale, it showed that the customers, the $1 price is going to be the mover, not the different prices. So yeah, so now we got to put it at $1. We got to let it fly, and then we got to hope when we run out of this inventory that there's another load available that can replenish it. So actually, you know what? I guess there's 2 pallets back here that are almost done. So yeah, so I guess I was wrong. But yeah, area back here is clear, ready for a truckload. Over the weekend, we packed up all the eBay stuff. Today, I think there's only like 4 things that need to be packed. I got somebody coming in later. We did lose another eBay person that was only going to be here for like maybe 1 or 2 days a week. She had said that her school, she started school, and she's starting to, already get the struggle because her classes are hard. So she's going to pull back some hours from me. I was kind of disappointed because, reliability is one thing. That employee was very reliable. Every time she said that she was going to be here, she would be here. So yeah, kind of hoping that she figures it out and comes back sooner than later. But she did say she's going to keep us posted with that. So yeah, as you can see, it's kind of a little bit more cleaned out back here, a little bit more room to breathe. We did some moving around, and I just decided that this area right here, we really shouldn't have a lot of stuff right here. So we got that out of the way, swept it up a little bit. I still have this little mess over here. So hopefully the person coming in today that's going to ship doesn't have a problem with that. I'm going to go back here and give you an example of what this looks like. We got some power washers here that need to be looked through or tested. This guy right here, it's missing a spring for the igniter. And then we got this whole area over here open. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of talk today about what's the best way we can do this next sale. I was thinking about just bumping up the percentage, but I think what we need to do is make some kind of announcement and wording that doesn't say that we're struggling or closing. I think it should just be like a store reset. Time to reset the store, time to give you guys the best deals you've ever seen. help us get through this so we can fill the store back up with even better stuff, or not even say that, just say, you know, a new inventory, because the word on the street that I'm hearing from my customers is, where's all the new inventory at, you know? So, because that was a thing of the past, I was getting trucks every week, from all different vendors, and now we're just getting our club loads every week, and I thought that was gonna be enough with what we got, but it's not. So we got to figure something out. We got to figure out, you know, do we bring back the reseller pallets? Do we start thinking about getting rid of these clothes so we can do bins? But just keep in mind, our piece count of clothes that we have on hand, is, you know, over 30,000 at least. So we gotta be careful with that. I mean, that would be a nice capital, you know, recoupment, but I'm thinking that you know, unless it all goes, it's not gonna be worth it. And that's kind of like, I'm gonna have like an all or nothing um, feel about this next. If I do something like that, it's all gotta go. If it doesn't all go, then why am I gonna liquidate all my inventory, and you know, set the bar for customers thinking that now, we just jumped into a really low price point for every item in the store, and that's a very dangerous situation to do this early. So if you guys are watching, you guys have a discount store, maybe you're maybe you do flea markets or something. I hope that these videos pertain to you guys, because we're not doing any clickbait here. We're not doing anything where we say one thing and something else is going on in the background. I'm showing you like a real struggling store. I'm showing you things that we're trying to do, to boost sales, and basically what we're trying to do is just make sure that, you don't make the same mistake as we did, because we have a lot of our own personal money wrapped up in this business that we are not able to grab out like a normal business owner would, because of the fact that the inventory is not doing its job. And some would say, well, it's the way that you're running the store. Well, I mean, I think I'm doing a pretty good job here. I think that the biggest thing is first of all, you got to have buy-in from your employees, and I think that that's always been the challenge anywhere. Um, Getting buy-in from your employees, getting them to show up and you know, be a part of the solution, not the problem. So that I'm not trying to bash that as the whole reason, but I'm giving you guys like real thought, you know. So, you know, part of the thing would be, you know, the loads weren't being processed fast enough. Mistakes were being made on checking the condition of things. Who knows if that ticked off people, by them coming here and getting something incomplete, and you know, feeling like they couldn't come here and have me make it right. That might be part of it. You know, also the inventory not being replenished as much could be something. But you know, I say that most of the reason for that is because the prices are going in the wrong direction. People are bidding stuff up and they're not understanding what they're doing, and mostly what it is, it's brokers getting auction loads, um, paying, you know, under 10% or a little bit over 10%, and then taking that inventory and reintroducing it to the market, either as rebuilt or just straight up flipping it. So what they're doing is they're the ones with a lot of cash behind them. They're buying those loads. Um, they don't care that the manifest on some of these home improvement loads are not accurate. They don't care about that. They just say it's liquidation, deal with it. You know, you get a load that says that you're supposed to have certain things, you might get box one of three, and then the other two boxes you'll never see them, and that, you know, those parts were crucial to giving you something that you can sell off of that. They don't care about that. They're going to give you the load, and they're going to say that this is what liquidation is. So that's one thing that's going out there. Another thing that's going out there is they're sniping the loads. They're seeing that no one else bid on it. They grab a load at, like, you know, 8%, like totally unheard of. You know, maybe somebody else missed it. Maybe that day, somebody in a discount store was sidetracked and they're working on putting out a fire in their store. And then you got the broker that just sits in front of their computer screen all day, that makes, you know, kind of like a day trader, you know, like buying loads and selling them. And then they score it, and then next thing you know it, I can tell you right now, guys, I've seen so many loads from one seller platform being put into another platform with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on top of it because they scored a good deal, and then they're basically selling it at market rate. It's disgusting because basically those guys are just sitting there clicking the mouse and making it hard for somebody like me that's in front of the computer that needs that inventory at that cheaper price. And I'm not going to sit there and try to resell it to somebody else and gouge them, because that's, that's for my customers. Like, yeah, well, why can't they make their money and you can make your money? Well, I don't know, man. Get yourself a store. Why don't you do the grind the right way and don't be selling loads to people that they're not going to make any money on, just because you want to line your pockets on profit and not care about if you just sold somebody a load that said it was going to have 15 grills in it, and when in reality the grills are all bits and pieces, and maybe only 5 of those 15 are good, and that person said, well, I'm going to pay you a certain amount because there's 15 grills in here. Or patio furniture, right? So patio furniture, might show it's got a 10-piece set, it's got a 7-piece set, it's got 5-piece set and a 3-piece set. Well, you buy that load and then you resell it to somebody like me, and then I get that load after I've paid a pretty penny for it, and box 1 of 5 is there and the other ones aren't there, so that's an incomplete. That's a chair. That's not even cost. You're not even able to sell it at cost. Or maybe the glass is broken on the table, so now you got dining chairs but you got no dining table because the dining table is broken. Or maybe you get that and it's basically somebody took a grate from a grill and returned it, saying it's the whole grill. I've seen it all, guys. I've seen everything, and we can even do a video just based on that. That's how much I've seen. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I just wanted to give you guys an update on our week that we need to have. I'll give you an update on what happened over the weekend. We had a horrible weekend. Got lots of grounds to make up. The last days of the month, selling days, are going to be crucial to rolling into next month with capital just to keep us afloat. From what I'm hearing is the way that we're going, our shortfall is probably going to happen mid-month in September. So we'll be lucky if we can get past that. So it's really game time, guys, because once we start having shortfalls this early, we're gonna have to make some desperate moves, and I'm kind of almost there, because I don't like having these uncertainties of when I start the month, if everything's going to go through smoothly and then we're going to have enough money to operate. We've already decided that there is a game plan in the last resort. We've kind of come up with that, so we're going to try to do everything we can in order to avoid that. But for right now, this is where we're sitting at. Low average sales dollar, under $40, very dangerous. Items going out is high, but it's not generating the traffic to the store to buy the bigger ticket items like I was thinking it would. So that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate everybody watching, and I still want to know what type of people are watching these videos. Are you a discount store? Are you a broker that knows me personally or has seen my name out there and some of those things that we're selling and buying, platforms that we're buying off of? If you want to see me succeed, or do you want to see me fail, just reach out and say, hey, saw your video, what's going on, or good luck, or try it a different way, or something, some kind of feedback, guys. Something to let me know that there's somebody out there that's watching this for a certain reason. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day, and hope to see you soon.